Wow. Wow. So recovering there, but we are now back, guys. And we are ready for our third and final game here between ORGE Sports Malaysia and QsQ112. What a series we've had so far, especially that second game. I mean, again, that was just ridiculous. Tralf, is Balfagor a hero that is underrated, or was that did it just happen to work that game? I mean,
Yeah, no, I would definitely say underrated in the sense that when people say Balfagor, they think, Balfagor, oh, that's funny, don't pick Balfagor. No, it's actually a very good hero, very viable. We saw right there, it's really hard to deal with. It's like an Armadon in the sense where you just stand out there, be tanky, and it's good when they cast spells on you because your ultimate's going to do more damage. And he also pushes really, really hard, harder than any tanky hero because he summons minions. So, yeah, he's definitely an underrated hero in that sense.
Yeah, it looks like we are in the game now, though. So here we are, game number 3. Again, Orange taking on QsQ112. This is our first match for the Group A division. So, of course, again, best of the 3. Every team will play each other once, best of the 3, with 8 teams in each group. So 7 best of 3s total for each team. So this is just the beginning. So, again, not the worst deal in the world if you happen to start off with a loss, but still at the same time, you'll start off with a loss and you'll be behind already off the bat. So. But as I also stressed as well, each game is actually somewhat important as well because if there happens to be 3 or 4 team tiebreaker situations, that's where each individual games one will actually come into play as well. So going to third games, at least both the teams have won one game, but winning the overall series is, of course, the most important part. But, coming into it, expecting a great series, especially with it being orange, and we've definitely gone it, Tralf. So here we are in game number 3. The blind band's finished. We have Mage Bane Dark Lady and then Silhouette Dark Lady. So once again, just like the first game, actually, all 3 of those really carry heroes banned here by these 2 teams. So don't want to see any of those.
Yeah, I think they did their research. They know exactly what to do when they TDM or Fnatic. Just ban those 3 carries, and then we're in a much better position because those seems to be those go-to carry heroes. And so with those heroes getting banned all the time, you got to find some other heroes to play. Certainly, TT Esports has figured that Scout is a very viable carry as well. Range carriers such as Soul Stealer and Forsaken Archer, Corrupted Disciple. I mean, there's lots of other things to choose from. And I'm sure Orange has played around with that. We saw that they liked Pestilence as well. Maybe they'll pick him up again. I think he did fine that game, actually. But they were just, as a team, their decision-making was a little skewed in going for that Balfagor, as we talked about last game.
Yeah, so the locking phase happening here. We got Bubbles, Polywog Priest, Aluna, Magnus, and Slither actually locked here, and the Slither actually being locked by Orange. So we'll see if Orange maybe has something up their sleeve, or if that could be one of those just heroes that locking for the sake of locking, not necessarily planning on picking him up, but may if the situation comes at hand. But Forsaken Archer going to be the final lock. So Forsaken Archer the only carry in that locking phase, and that always makes it interesting as far as how the actual picking phase goes, knowing that in this case the Hellborn team may need to be worried about that. Or maybe not, but we'll see. Now the bands coming up. What do you think about the locks and maybe even that Slither lock there?
Slither, I think, is another a bit of an underrated hero. He doesn't have as much ganking potential as, say, like a Glacius or even a Luna because it's kind of a skill shot with the spray there. But he's one of those supports in the sense, if you play him as a support anyway, that can really bounce back in the jungle. As we saw MSI way back in the day, really made that popular and played it very, very effectively. That was also when Slither was much more strong before the nerf of the vision from the wards. But he's still a very viable hero, and he could get picked up this game. We'll see.
Yeah, wouldn't be too surprised. Look at that final ban there, actually. Look at a couple of final bans, actually. So the banning phase went to Demented Shaman, Pebbles, Jersey Tundra, so you're like, okay, and then Balfagor banned by Orange, so clearly not only did they want to kill him all those times, and it didn't work out too well, but they just don't even want to deal with him this game, so throughout the ban. And then Wild Soul actually banned by our Hellborn team. Of course, Wild Soul was used the first game by Orange in their victory. So what do you think, though? Balfagor worth the ban here?
I wouldn't say it's worth the ban, to be honest. I mean, I say it's underrated, but it's definitely not overpowered by any means. They just you gotta play against it right. At the same time, too, last game I feel like QsQ laned it so poorly.
Yeah.
Balfagor mid, I mean, it was fine. He was CSing, doing really well actually, but they just laned it so incorrectly. They could have really punished them, and so Balfagor certainly wasn't the problem last game. I mean, it was a huge impact into why they won, but it wasn't a problem by any means. So I don't think it was worth the ban. But Orange just doesn't want to play against it, and I don't blame them after that game.
Yeah, so again, nearly a 70-minute game there that they had to deal with, and so can't blame them, as Balthagor was really the big reason for the victory there. Glacius is going to be the first pick by Orange, but then follow up Moraxis and Nymphora. That's definitely a very strong combination there. Picked up by our Hellborn side. So far, the picking stage, nothing too crazy, at least from what I can see. I mean, Tralf, what do you think of Moraxis pick up over there?
Oh, it's very strong. I think even stronger is the Moraxis plus Nymphora. That's going to have so much ganking potential. If you get a good lane from Moraxis and a quick level 6 on Nymphora, you get a, Steam Boots and Portal Key on the Moraxis around the 12-minute mark. It's going to be so hard for Orange to farm. Nymphora is such a good hero in that regard. We'll just see how it's going to come down to the laning phase. How easy of a lane is Moraxis and Nymphora going to have?
Yeah. Ooh, Orange going with the Ophelia and Tempest once again. So that's what they ran last game, obviously.
Same exact 3 heroes that they had.
That is, yeah, you're right. The exact same heroes. So we'll see maybe if a similar strategy going to be coming out here, but of course now with only the locks left, won't see no Pestilence, that's for sure. Final pick though, they do got Parasite as an option if they feel that makes sense here against what you'd guess to be Ophelia jungle for this Legion side. So I can see that as being a possible choice here, but of course you also got some solid solo options, but at the same time there are some in Polywog Priest and Bubbles in the pool as well. But they are going to go with Wretched Hag actually. So maybe knowing that they're going to at least get Polywog Priest and Bubbles so they can have a Hag and then one of those solo, and then maybe even run a tri-lane Moraxis if it comes down to it, but or something else. So we'll see what they decide to do. Polywog Priest though is going to be the first pick out of the locked pool. And now the next 2 here for Q Squad, we'll see. Of course, carry Forsaken Archer. Now, on the note, actually, you made that point. If they get Forsaken Archer here, only one team's going to have that really hard carry hero.
Yeah, I was just thinking that as well. Polywog Priest is a great hero and all, but yeah, they take FA, and I think they very well might. They could easily do an FA or Luna or an FA Magnus. Yeah. Both would be very strong, and that would kind of leave Orange again with. Except I shouldn't even say again because last time they had Pestilence. But this time, if that was the case, they'd have to run like a
Luna,
a Luna carry, which they could do, but it's a little weak. But say they get a Luna FA right here, that's going to leave them like a carry Slither, carry Magnus, carry Bubbles. They're going to have to be so super aggressive, and it's kind of an all-in strat in the sense where you have to push, and if you lose one team fight, it's game over. So it's a really, really risky way to play. And I definitely think that Forsaken Archer should have been picked up there instead of Polywog Priest.
Yeah, that puts them in a tough spot. And obviously, QsQ, they're really thinking this one out. They got 10 seconds left here now in the extra time, but there you go, Forsaken Archer Luna. So I guess I don't even think it's going to be Slither. I think it's at a point, though, it's like probably just even Magnus here. Oh, no,
Magnus.
Probably definitely be Magnus. Magnus Glacius lane to go with Tempest and Polywog solo is, going to be Slither, actually. So
this could be it. Yeah, sorry. This could be interesting. I've never really seen a sort of like pseudo carry Slither. Yeah. Really interested.
Yeah, that is going to be fun. Now, of course, again, you mentioned the MSI days, and Trixie actually did play a fantastic pseudo carry Slither. I know Geometer's Bane was definitely very popular within his build and whatnot. And remember, obviously, Toxicity no longer an attack modifier, so that's something that can definitely come into play as well. But I think it's more of a case of Orange just simply saying that I don't think they're going into this game planning to have a Slither out carry Forsaken Archer by any means. I think it's safe to say it's just a case of we need to have the early aggression advantage, and with our lineup, we feel confident that we can do that. Ophelia, by the way, she bought boots, first item, and a couple of mana pots. So, yeah, I just noticed that right off the bat, but interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. I know sometimes people do that because, when you take over a creep with a command spell, the creep has more movement speed than Ophelia, and it's a good way to keep up with your creep, and you can actually get more harassed because your movement speed is so high compared to the enemy teams, considering that they will 9 times out of 10 not have boots.
Yeah.
So
I don't know if you did that last game. I wasn't paying attention to that. So
I don't think she did. But the other thing is too is like it's not going to be able to buy wards or upgrade Curry at the beginning, so it's going to leave it all to Glacius and or Tempest. So Glacius looked like has 1 ward, and I don't know if he upgraded the chicken, but I'm assuming he did.
He only has 300 gold, so.
Yep. So yeah,
being the
really interested.
Yeah, that is something from Ophelia. So again, Wang playing Ophelia here. Slither being played by XXF, of course, for Orange Esports, and that's definitely the hero that I think both you and I are going to look at. I will say, man, Toxicity, that's a powerful ability, especially if you can get a spread around in those team fights. But that could be so annoying to deal with. You get the Poison Burst on top of that, and obviously not the most burst of it. It's funny, Poison Burst. It's funny that's named that, but. It's not a lot of burst damage coming out from Slither, but that damage over time can really screw you in those team fights. So you can be very effective with that. But yeah, this definitely expecting Slither to be playing more as that carry focus. But like I said, I mean, I don't think by any means they're going into this game thinking that he's going to be out carrying this Forsaken Archer. It's going to be more of an early aggression lineup here from our Legion side. But then I look at QsQ's lineup, and you know it's strong. I mean. It's a really, really strong lineup over here. So I think Orange, obviously they went with more of a curveball, more of a different style of lineup. But I think it's safe to say that QsQ, more conventional and more powerful with that said, perhaps. But definitely you got to play the game for a reason. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's really, really strong lineup here on QsQ. They just got everything. They have an Informer access. That's a really strong lane if they decide to do that. And then Forsaken and Luna, I mean, what can really beat a Forsaken and Luna lane if it is just a dual lane?
Yeah.
They're going to have to find a way to tri-lane against that. And that's kind of hard to guess. I mean, QsQ's got a lot of options. They can tri-lane bottom with a Solo Meraxis top and a Hag mid. They can go 2 dual lanes, a Meraxis and 4 top and a FA Luna mid with the Suicide Hag. I mean, they have so many options. And so it's really hard. With a lineup like this, it's really hard to predict what QsQ is going to do. And I think that's one of the things that makes their lineup so strong.
Yeah. Right now, obviously sitting in this pause, I mean, we have no idea really where they're going to be going and haven't moved yet, but we are coming out of the pause, so we'll start to get more of an idea of at least initially how they're going to set things up. It looks like Moraxis and Nymphora are heading towards the top lane. That's going to be Forsaken Archer Luna in the middle, and then Wretched Hag going to be the long lane Suicide. So, again, this is just initially. Maybe some changes will happen, but so you think that this is a good decision, though, from QsQ112?
I think this is what I was, in my mind, thinking would be the smartest thing, because should it come down to an aggressive tri-lane top from Orange Esports, which it probably isn't because they did the same thing last time with the Tempest Suicide, then they have the ability to roam a Luna between middle and top, but they don't need to now. Now they're just going to crush 2 lanes at once.
Yeah.
So they're going to win mid, they're going to win top, and they're going to have a Hag who's going to be kind of against this pseudo tri-lane bottom, which is, you kind of always want to have 1 hero against 3, so long that you don't die.
Yeah.
If you're dying, then it's kind of a waste. But if you don't die, then you're going to get the best trade out of everything. So if FJ does a good job by somehow getting experience, but at the same time, not dying, then they're gonna really come out strong in this early game.
Yeah, I mean you look at what the Legion team has down here. It's not, they got a lot of slow, of course, between Glacius and Slither, but not a whole lot of stuns. I mean, depending on, of course, the creeps that Ophelia gets, whether it's Skeleton King or Minotaur or Catman or whatnot. But so it's not necessarily the most dangerous as well in that sense. So I think, yeah, it's safe to say FJ should be fine, and for obviously our Hellborn's team's sake, should stay alive, but hopefully stays alive. But we'll see as the game progresses on. As far as the other lanes are looking, of course, Polywalk Priest, don't expect him to have too good of a time. You mentioned a Luna Forsaken Archer, how just deadly that can be. And you see right off the bat, a Luna going for the uphill attacks, missing one right there. But pressuring Handle Baby on the Polywalk Priest, even using the early power throw. So danger already for Polywalk Priest. Going to be struggling now. Minotaur was taken over from Ophelia. This is what I was talking about, if they can get some good positioning. But Wretched Hag just blinking far, far away. And should be fine. The Minotaur's chasing, but we'll have blink up another 5 seconds and really just keeping them in hot pursuit. So this is giving 100% free farm to XXF, of course, on Slither at this bottom lane, as it really would be anyways. But going all the way to the middle lane, and in fact is going to port on by, maybe leads a little bit of experience, but not the biggest deal in the world. So not too often you see that, but a hero getting chased all the way from the bottom to the middle lane without taking much damage. But that's what she really needed to do. Glacius also spending a lot of time doing that too, so as well as Ophelia for the matter.
Yeah,
does that favor either side really? I mean,
all that kind of like movement that was going on. I think to be honest, I think it favors Hellborn just because you're gonna have Glacius. He's gonna have pretty much no experience gained at all, and they're doing a really smart thing actually right here. Although they are spotted by the ward by Kibidi, and they're gonna go ahead and try to gank this duel lane up here. If they can be successful in this, it's going to be huge because Slither does not need help to lane against this Wretched Hag in his short lane. I mean, he's going to crush him completely, and they realize that. So they're doing a good job by roaming around here. If they can get something happen in this top lane, that's going to be the momentum they need.
They're going to go for it right here. Moraxis taking the stun, and you see the Minotaur stun coming to follow up. Is it going to be enough follow-up damage? Moraxis dropping quickly. Doesn't look like it, though. He'll stay alive, and the Bloodlust kill will still yet to be had. So that was the chance there for the Legion team, as you were just talking about. But unfortunately not able to come through. So I guess it's safe to say the Hellborn side now with the health potion being used going to kind of reset some things, and Moraxis is going to go back to farming, but it isn't over just yet. Ophelia is going to look to maybe get another chance here, but again, the positioning isn't necessarily the greatest for them. Now, meanwhile, at the bottom lane, you mentioned, look at Slither, the toxicity being applied, even gets a taunt off. I don't think it's going to be enough for the kill. One more tick, that should do it. Yes, he gets the Bloodlust kill, and Slither will fall back. Well played by XXF right there. Wretched Hag still level 1. So you weren't kidding when you were talking about pure dominance.
Yeah, he did a really good job there. I mean, he's got the boots. Hag does not. Just played that really well, and Hag's going to be struggling here. Oh, mid lane kill actually. Polywog gets Priest. Polywog Priest gets taken out by the Forsaken Archer and a Luna combination. I was going to mention something earlier. I was going to say if Fly was watching this game, he would have a fit because Polywog Priest got a free Invis rune here at the top river when it could have been easily contested by a Luna. And I mean, it wasn't the biggest deal for Polywog Priest having that Invis, but say a Luna got that Invis. What's that going to force the other supports to do? I mean, Glacius is going to have to back up.
Yeah.
Tempest is going to, it's going to make them play everyone else at their tower because they don't know where this Luna is going to go.
Yeah.
So runes like that are so important, and that was, I think Fresh Blunts on Luna could have done a much better job of controlling that rune, especially since they had vision there.
Yeah, so definitely something needs to keep in mind with that rune control. In fact, 4 minutes coming up, so about 10 seconds. That next rune will spawn. You don't see any movement just yet, at least, but we'll see. We'll see if the Polywog Priest is able to get another rune. Maybe because of that, it's going to spawn bottom, it looks like, and Luna is already heading down there. So she's going to protect what is a double damage rune at that bottom lane, and she might just go ahead and even pick that up and try to set something up at the bottom lane, perhaps, but with the ward being there, probably wouldn't be successfully. And if she did, meanwhile, at the top lane, Moraxis once again a lot of pressure. The Vagabond laner coming in for assistance. Is it going to be enough this time? Yes, it is. The final auto attack's coming out, and he just got caught out just a little bit too bad of a position. Great job between Glacius and Tempest especially, applying the stun rotation, and then Ophelia, not even a CC minion needed, just the Vagabond leader for the nuke gets the kill. So that's what you're talking about. Sure enough, able to pick up a kill. It took them a little bit longer than they were hoping for, sure, but they get the kill nonetheless and slow things down quite a bit here for Juice Produce playing that Moraxis
Hag might die.
top lane.
Hag might die.
Oh, the poison spray got off. Yeah, it did hit. As yep. She's gonna be fine. She's gonna be fine. She's gonna be fine. She's gonna. No, she might not be fine. Oh my god, that had to be like, she had 15 life right there. It seemed like it was maybe doing that. Oh god, that sucks.
Oh man, I just screamed like a little girl.
Poison damage, like I talked about, man. It's just so brutal.
That was just gotta be just the very edge of that, life pool.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's unfortunate for FJ. But they did get a kill on the Ophelia in their own jungle. They spotted him out with a good ward there, and did take some time to roam over there and maybe miss some creeps, but I think it's definitely worth it to get him out of their jungle.
Yeah. So level 6 Slither now. Again, the harassment right away continues. Look, oh, the poison burst used by Wretched Hag blinks away just prior. So XXF thought he had another sure kill right there, but this time Wretched Hag baits out the ultimate, and FJ just a little bit too quick for his sake. So FJ kind of gets the last laugh right there, getting a cooldown used. But at the same time, I mean, the harassment still continues, so it's not like he's coming back and dominating by any means. So just a little bit unfortunate for Slither that he used a fairly big cooldown to not hit anyone. But as far as how other things are going, Meisty again on Forsaken Archer. How's he doing? I mean, 31 and 15, farming 311 gold per minute. Obviously, doing very well here in the middle lane, as you would expect because of the matchup and these situations. So not too surprising. Nymphora in the meantime at the top lane once again. The CC coming out. Nymphora, nice Zeal stone landed, but a great job using the Vulture Lord to put the Cyclone behind Nymphora, knowing that she was going to have to run into it, and helping to secure the kill right there. So again, some great micro-ring going on from Wang Wang, playing that Ophelia, and setting up another kill. So the pressure continues there at the top lane now. 4-3 in hero kills here for Orange Esports.
Oh, wow. Slither actually caught Hag out here. That he did blink into the trees, but he TP'd right away. So that was a really interesting engagement there.
Yeah. Able to stay alive, of course, porting back to base despite the toxicity being on top. And look at the tower push at the top lane, though. That's the elementals are out. We got a level 3 element, no, level 2 elementals actually, but no Ophelia minions are here, so not massive push by any means, but still doing a lot. Not going to push the tower dead, but a lot of pressure being applied. Of course, the Strider's a Luna. You see her running up for some assistance. Maybe that's what got ultimately the Legion team to fall back, but I think they've had enough of getting dominated at that top lane. Look at Wretched Hag with the bottom lane actually doing some damage to Slither here, and Slither's going to have to Homecoming Stone poured out before Wretched Hag gets the kill. So, wow. So Wretched Hag getting some revenge. Now, Slither actually put it back to the tower, yeah. He had a health potion coming, so, and he just health pots himself.
That's awesome. That's baller.
That's well played. XXF, that's what I said, man. I mean, this guy, he was impressive at DreamHack, and throughout this event, I look forward to seeing how he does because he's a fun player to watch, and it's because of tactics right there. So, well played on his part. He already has Steam Boots. I mean, Slither off to a great start, as I'm sure Orange was kind of expecting because of the situation. But Forsaken Archer again, she's also doing very well. So, in fact, pretty much nearly identical, just a little bit behind, but doing very well. Big plays at the top lane incoming, it looks like. Marastus will take the Ice Imprisonment. Good Zeal Stun coming out, as well as a Volatile Pod and helping keeping Marastus alive. So 4-man pushes here, though. Polywog Priest joins the party. He has wards ready to go, as well as a regen rune bottled up for that matter. And he's going to look to place him right here, perhaps, and maybe not even really thinking it's necessary. They're just going to go for the tower kill without the ward. So, yeah, this tower's going to be destroyed, and vulnerability's coming out. Are we going to see any ports? Forsaken Archer pushing the middle lane in the meantime. No ports going to be had, and no deny attempt. That's probably the smart move. As you see, Polywog Priest, in fact, pushing up. Nice deal, or stun from a Luna, but no follow-up. But Forsaken Archer, as I said, she's pushing the middle lane, getting some counter pressure going on. We'll need to be careful, as expecting vulnerability and ports to come in soon, though. As in these next couple of seconds. So Micey, will he react in time is the question. It's going to drop. Oh, wow. I get it, but it couldn't have been down. I mean, there's no pressure. So
I don't know about that one.
Or Legion team, big. No, none of them have homecoming stones except Slither. So maybe that was the key, but oh, that's big.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, and she's also going to get a kill right here. What a land by Micey. Great job with the crippling volley and, of course, the piercing arrows on top, and just like that, she's now at 405 gold per minute.
You know what's funny is we've had 3 different players on this QsQ team play Forsaken Archer.
Yep. I think it was FJ the first game, and then Juice produced the second game, so yeah, that's true.
A couple of interesting things about this game. If you saw the top river where Mr. Ghost has warded, that was actually the exact, actually great ward trap there coming on the on the Forsaken Archer. That's exactly what they need, so good job there by Handle of Babies with assistance from Mr. Ghost. But as I was saying, this ward up here is actually placed in the exact same spot where Hellborn team's ward was first placed. And they had full vision of Glacius walking up there to ward that, and it has not been countered. So that's kind of a big deal because they saw that they could have prevented and maybe got even a pickoff kill from Polywog Priest there had they destroyed that vision. And it's something that it's really a free ward to destroy, and especially when you place it like that right at the 6 minutes, where I think it was around 6-7 minutes. That's a very important timing. So yeah, that's something in future I would have teams looking out there to improve too.
Yeah, and we see right there, in fact, Glacius actually counter-warding himself and getting a kill on the Hellborn ward. So now, Polywog Priest wasn't visible during all that. He was actually sitting on top of Nymphora, but of course with no ward trap ready to go and even a Luna being nearby. deciding not to open up, and there he goes right there. Just going to continue to farm. Slither also did a good job getting away at the bottom lane once again, doing his little tactic, going into the jungle. Didn't actually pour it back to the tower, but he was patient enough to get back, but he will be in a little bit of trouble right here. Nice crippling volley once again with that piercing arrows, and down he goes. Now he did get the poison burst off, and you see the immediate pours coming out. Tempest ultimate, though, pulls him in. In comes Glacius from behind. No glacial tap because he's only level 5, but they may pick up the double tap. Down goes right there in Forsaken Archer and Wretched Hag. Wow, that was perfect timing right there, and all the more better that Slither got his abilities off just before he died. Now in the middle lane, not over just yet. Ophelia's going to get caught by a great Quake Stun, and you see Miraxis even using the Matrix ultimate to get the kill. So good end there at least for Q Squad, but still great Tempest ultimate to get those 2 kills there at the bottom lane.
Yeah, that was a really good job, and good, as you would say, presence of mind there from Slither to get his spells off before knowing full well that he was going to die. But you know, he expected and had confidence in his teammate to come and support him, and it was just great that that port happened to be Tempest. You know, yeah. They might have gotten, you know, for sure a kill on the Forsaken Archer if that was, say, a Glacius or a Poliwag, but you know, the fact that it was Tempest and his hole was ready with 2 heroes right there, that was perfect. And now 2 towers taken out for Legion. That's going to really boost up their gold there.
Yeah, you see 4,600 golding now for our Legion team, so that's a big plays there happening for Orange Esports Malaysia. But what I was going to say, though, is what do you think about both Forsaken and Wretched Hag deciding to port immediately rather than trying to run away right there?
Oh, yeah. I mean, for Forsaken Archer, I wasn't really watching, like, his sequence as much, but Hag definitely, he should have just blinked away at least first,
yeah, and
then ported out. I mean, he was porting right in front of the tower. I mean, he could have at least maybe even before blinking just hit a little bit better, so could have played that a little bit better, yeah.
Well, again, nice couple of kills happening. Meanwhile, in the middle lane, the wards are down, so no doubt a lot of pressure being put out. Look at Slither, though. Bad Blast going to come in on top, and Slither will fall right there. Great sequence right there coming out from Q Squad. Now the tower falls in their favor for Orange Esports, but Poliwag Priest very likely going to get picked off. Quake Stun missing, but it doesn't matter. They take out the wards. So a little bit of a, you know, unfortunate circumstance there for Orange, obviously getting the tower kill, the good news, but they did sacrifice both Slither and Poliwag Priest to do so. And now the Hellborn team will continue to farm. But this goes back to their lineup in general. I mean, we stressed this out. The Legion team, obviously they built a lineup around knowing that they're going to have to be really aggressive in the earlier game stage, which no doubt they have been. But even though they're actually losing in hero kills now. They're losing 8 to 7 in hero kills. Now they got those 3 tower kills, or 4 for that matter, which is pretty big. But still, I think our Hellborn team is pretty comfortable simply because Forsaken Archer has 370 gold per minute, which does continue to be the lead in this game so far.
Yeah, I mean, this could start to look grim here for Orange Esports, just in the sense that, I mean, they got to capitalize. They got to end this game quick than not. I mean, FA is certainly going to outcarry anything that Legion has, as well as Miraxis sitting there. He's got 1,600 gold pooled up, as well as his Steam Boots, Power Supply, or Mana Battery, and Investment. He's got his great core items. He gets a Portal Key now with Nymph 4 hitting level 7. They're going to be able to just gank, and it's not very good when you have the team that has the better late game who can also be more aggressive than you.
Yeah, we see right there, they almost got Forsaken Archer, but in his own jungle, very aggressive ward placed up top here, as you can see in the jungle. Already only 14.5 minutes in. Again, it goes really more to show you how Orange Esports, they know. I mean, it's obvious with their lineup that's what they have to capitalize off of, but not able to catch him. So good job by Forsaken Archer having the presence of mind to position himself to get away after getting the creep kills. But the pressure will continue from Orange as they're going to go for the secondary top tower. Meanwhile, in the background as well, catching a Luna out, actually. Tempest going to set up an ultimate. Oh, but the Puzzle Box minions actually block him a little bit right there. His own Puzzle Box minions. Doesn't matter, though. They got the kill on a Luna. That's the big kill. And this tower will drop quickly. Now at the bottom lane, they are going to get their tower pushing as well as Wretched Hag and Nymphora do their thing. But the tower not going down because they're going to push the Forsaken Archer back as the bottom tower falls. But this tower will end up falling here after the invulnerability use. And there we go. So only one outer tower remains already for QsQ112, but again, not too surprising with this aggressive play from Orange. Everyone is back, though, so everyone is up. So we got a 5 versus 5 battle, perhaps going to be taking place up here. Orange Esports, though, they're gonna say, "Come to us if you want to make a fight happen," as they're playing pretty defensive-minded. Ophelia, not sure what you're doing, as almost got caught out just like last game in an awkward spot, but going to be fine. So I think our Legion team, they're going to end up falling back when it's all said and done, but the pressure continues. But Hellborn side, they are doing a good job of being patient, and they're not forcing anything and not giving them really unnecessary kills, at least at this time. So
Yeah, this a really smart thing to do against these very aggressive push lineups is to simply, concede the push and try to counter push yourself in the other lanes, and that's exactly what they did. And they can do that safely, knowing full well that they have the late game. So there's no reason to try to fight these team fights against a push team where you know you're going to lose early on in these 5v5 engagements. So the best way to do it is just dodge the push and then counter push in another lane.
yeah. Item pickups, I mean, Slither's been an interesting hero to follow, and obviously he went Helm of the Black Legion, now is working on a Shaman's Headdress. So he's going a very tank-style build here on Slither. Does that surprise you?
No, not really. I mean, they need some kind of tank on that team. They need someone up there to absorb the damage. So no, I expect though him to go some kind of damage item after that. Although he looks like he's going to build a barrier idol with that helmet the victim picked up, as you said. And so yeah, I don't know. I think it's definitely the right thing to do.
Well, I mean, again, Slither's one of those heroes too, and he's similar to a Corrupted Disciple. Not really, but kind of a same concept though at the same time. But if he can stay alive in those team fights within the midst of it all, not only will it get him better positioning for a good poison burst, but he spreads around the toxicity, which is a very powerful tool of his. And of course, the longer he stays alive, as a result of going these tank items, will allow him to spread it out more successfully and eventually get it on everyone. If at least that's the idea. So, and still dish out a good amount of damage despite not having really damage items. So.
Nymph Fort coming bottom.
Oh, yeah, Glacius, you're in a lot of trouble, buddy. The portal Camorax is 100% dead. Even Ophelia heal being used. But Glacius, oh my god, he is still alive. Finally, the axe comes out. Nymph Fort is going to get picked off as a result. So that ended up being well played right there. It delayed it long enough, but now Tempest actually in some trouble. In comes Wretched Hag. Another portal key going to be up for Miraxis shortly right here. Now, he doesn't have enough mana for the combo. So that could be the saving grace actually for Tempest, and it looks like it is. So Tempest will survive, as Wretched Hag going to try to clean up the creep wave. But yeah, that was actually a good job by Glacius and even the Ophelia heal to keep him alive long enough.
Yeah, that was really well played. I mean, they made the best out of was looking like a pretty bad situation there, but also very well timed mana battery there from Glacius. A lot of people sometimes they will just spam it and use it very quickly, but if you use it the last second when teams think they have the last auto attack, what happened there is they thought they had the for sure kill on them, so they used their spells, and Miraxis used his axe, and Hag used his attack, and then walked away like mid-air. And then that gave Glacius almost the potential to get away, but unfortunately Miraxis did have a really nicely lined up axe there to get the kill. But it did give a little bit more time for Tempest to get there and get the counter kill on Nymphora, so that was well played.
Yeah, on that note as well, at the same time for the Hellborn team, we did see the power of Nymphora Ultimate, and definitely a big play coming out, or a big part of it coming out right there. And I'm sure as this game progresses on, we'll start seeing more and more of that coming out from Kipje playing that Nymphora, especially with more access with that portal key here. Now, Forsaken Archer has 2,700 gold saved up, so obviously I would think Nullstone in the making here for our Forsaken Archer player. Of course, Sustainer already picked up, just needs a Blessed Orb and a Z pattern. More axe is trying to catch Ophelia, missing the axe, but now Ophelia is going to get caught. There's the Quake stun. The Minotaur running in, trying to make something happen, even uses a W right there just in case, and Ophelia will live, actually. The Hellborn team retreating before they get the kill. Of course, the support was there. And Nymphora is, oh my god, she is so close to death, but it looks like she's barely going to stay out of range. So that was interesting. I mean, they didn't get the kill, but they did all stay alive because of that at the same time. So probably the better move by QsQ, honestly.
Yeah, but when you invest a lot of heroes and time into that kill and then don't get it, that you'll start to see like golden experience slowly go back in favor of the other team, just because you probably will have another hero on your team farming while they're spending all that time trying to gank you. So if you don't get the kill, it expends a lot of wasted experience and gold that could have been spent on the other side of the map farming.
Yeah. Well. Again, nobody dies from that, but somebody's going to be down from this. Definitely is playing with Priest over there, but jumps into absolute death right there. Of course, Miraxis lets him know who he is with his ultimate activated, staying alive. So Polywog Priest picked off. It is a 5 versus 4 now, and I don't think the Legion team is any more interested in continuing this fight. Now, Nullstone deactivated right there by the Puzzle Box Wizard, actually. Minotaur stun going to miss. In the meantime, Miraxis trying to do his thing in the front lines. Forsaken Archer, she get caught by Minotaur, and the Tempest, all the Megas 3 out. The Bat Blast going to come out, though. Tempest going to start dropping, and all the Judgment will end up setting up a kill onto Forsaken Archer right there. Nymphora looks like is in a lot of trouble as well, and she'll end up ticking down against Slither, spreading that toxicity around as we talked about, and making some kills happen. He picks up the double tap. Aluna and Wretched Hag going to fall back, but that was actually pretty well played in the end by ORGE Esports there.
Yeah, really great Tempest hold there. Got 3 heroes and she did take a lot of damage from that Bat Blast, but held his ground and channeled that ultimate. Before that engagement, really great. I always just say W spell, but the Arcane Shield by Meraxis there, absorbing what I think was Polywog Priest's morph there, right when he blinked in. So that initiation could have been trumped with Polywog Priest's quick morph, but Meraxis doing a good job expecting that and used the W pretty much right as he blinked in. So that was a really good job there by Fresh Produce.
Yeah, definitely.
Or sorry, Fresh Produce.
Fresh Produce.
Well, there's fresh blunts right under it. So.
Yeah.
Juice blunts, fresh produce.
GG. No, yeah, definitely well played on his part. And again, that's obviously the power of that Arcane Shield ability with that W. Pretty much an activatable null stone effect. So, but ORGE Esports, again, they come out on top of at least that team fight right there, but still by all means, our Hellborn side is still, I mean, you could argue favor for either side, really. I mean, Forsaken Archer does continue to still have a very good game. 331 gold per minute. Wretched Hag has definitely been stepping it up quite a bit. She has now passed the 270 and even more axes. He had that earlier on Portal Key, and he's sitting at a pretty comfortable 250 gold per minute. Puzzle Box level 3 just finished on Tempest, so this isn't something we really haven't talked about yet, but we saw it last game picked up by Glacius of all heroes, picked up this time around by Tempest, going level 3 Puzzle Box as his really first, even over Ring of Sorcery. I mean, this is completely different than what we're used to seeing.
Yeah, I actually kind of like it. I mean, he was a suicide lane, so he wasn't getting much farm. They did shift up there to help him a little bit, but even then, it's hard for Tempest to really, snowball and farm. Hag doing a good job of counter pushing this. See, this is exactly what they should do. I expect them not even to defend this bottom lane. They're probably just going to keep pushing the top lane. Oh, actually, he is TPing back, so maybe they'll try to do something. Nymph 4 TP as well is going back. So yeah, maybe they will look to defend this. I don't know if they really have the means to. The Puzzle Box 3 is going to do a lot of damage here.
Yep, more access off to the side, but look at Glacius. Actually, he's going to place a ward aside, but Glacius in dead man's land right there. More access does jump in. W's activated. He activates his ultimate, of course. Glacius dropping quickly. Ophelia here comes out. Glacius will fall, but Meraxis also going to take it out. 1-for-1 exchange that the Legion team will take every single day of the week. Slither gets ported back, actually, by Ophelia after getting off his Poison Burst. So interesting synergy happening right there. However, here comes Forsaken Archer, as well as Wretched Hag. And yes, Meraxis did fight back, and now Polywog Priest going to get caught out as a result of that. He is probably not going to get away. Going to try to Homecoming Stone, but that's not going to happen. You have Ophelia and Tempest off to the side. But they should be fine. And obviously, Slither tried to make his way back in time, but not able to get there. So I don't know about that port from Ophelia, by the way. Porting Slither. It seemed like he was still actually fine for the most part, but maybe that was the case. So maybe she expected a lot more on him to happen. And, well, he just, obviously, you can't cancel it after it's already happened. So gets sent back, nonetheless, but the tower was denied, right? Yeah, they denied
yes,
the
it
tower
was
at the end. So that also adds insult to injury. Now, the buyback was used, though, by Meraxis. So, you still think ORGE came out on top there? Or?
No, definitely. Just the buyout was so strong and a great play there. They got the deny in the tower. I just think that ORGE played that wrong. They, Glacius was up there trying to ward. I mean, he had good intentions, but they would have had much better chance just sitting back behind the creeps by Ophelia, behind the Polywog wards, and just use the wards and just sat behind them, get a good spread so Meraxis can't get a good stun, and just wait for them to make some kind of sloppy engagement. They don't really have to force anything. Just sit back behind their creeps and wards and hit the tower down.
Yeah. Well, we talked about last game how I think it was QsQ and not getting Mystic Vestments. I mean, this time around 4 out of the 5. Only one not having it is Nymphora, so especially against a Slither, though, but even it gets his whole team. I mean, it's just such a powerful item in the earlier game stage. So, of course, not surprising to see 4 out of the 5 heroes having it. And on top of that, Forsaken Archer, of course, she has a Mighty Blade, so Shrunken Head very likely in the works there for her, as does Wretched Hag, also with a Mighty Blade. So a couple of Shrunken Heads, more than likely, going to be coming out as well here for our Hellborn team in QsQ112. So very smart decisions being made here in that sense. Barrier Idol was finished on Slither. I think he actually had that going into that last fight. But he has that now nonetheless. And as we talked about, the Puzzle Box level 3 having on Tempest. Ophelia, she's been doing work. Plated Greaves, Astrolabe, and Soul's Bulwark. Now also a Neophyte's book picked up. We'll see where she goes with that. But our Legion team, ORGE Esports, once again, going to try to keep the pressure up, again, with the lineup and how they've been playing this game. No surprise here, but it's going to get tougher and tougher as the game progresses, but I don't know if they're going to fully commit to a push right here. but they're going to push up this middle lane, and all outer towers are destroyed, remember, so they're going to start working on the base now, and it looks like they're going to try to make something happen, but Wretched Hag did just finish her portal key. Or, excuse me, she just finished her Shrunken Head. Portal Key Hag, new next level strategies here. No, but she's got a Shrunken Head, so that's big. Now the wards go down, and vulnerability is going to be used by a Hellborn team. Where's the jump? There goes Moraxis jumping, and once again, Polywar Priest, that target of choice. He has activated his W as well as his ultimate. Piercing arrows in the background. Tempest trying to get an ultimate off, but he gets tabbed out immediately. Still alive somehow, but Tempest will end up falling. Look at Moraxis in the background, completely splitting up the Legion team. And he's still staying alive in the process. So the wards are going to be taken out in the background. Now Moraxis is going to end up falling, actually. So he ends up being a 1-for-1 exchange for Tempest. And the tower is still taking a lot of pressure. So Forsaken Archer going to have to regen and come back in this fight. Wretched Hag, obviously the Shrunken Head on cooldown now. But the tower looks like should survive in the end here for QsQ112. In fact, they may be able to get some kills here of some stragglers. You see Polywar Priest is going to be ported back by Ophelia. Nymph are going to port forward, though, trying to catch Ophelia, maybe, but no, it's not going to happen. They went the wrong direction. There's going to be a haste rune, though, for Wretched Hag to pick up. So, solid defense there from QsQ.
Yeah, the toxicity in the Poison Burst combination from Slither is getting these heroes so damn low. I mean, you saw like 3 heroes walking back to red HP, and it's just Moraxis did a good job by jumping in behind all the creeps and wards that were up in the front. But there was so much. I mean, Ophelia did such a great job between her Astrolabe and her heal, and kept Polywog Priest alive so much longer than she should have been. Again, I don't know why I'm labeling some of these genders as she's and he's, but for some reason it just feels right to call Polywog a girl. I don't know. But yeah, Polywog was kept alive for so long due to all the healing done by Ophelia, and that was a great job there. But they just need some extra oomph in these team fights because these heroes are getting so low from Slither, and it's just getting so close, you know.
That's what Slither does. He again, to stress that point, I mean, he drops you low, but you need the follow-up damage. I mean, the biggest thing, Poison Burst is non-lethal, so it can get you down to 1 life, but if it's just Poison Burst on you, it will not actually kill you. So you need that follow-up to eventually finish them off, and that's definitely. But as you said, though, I mean, Moraxis was a big part of that, completely distracting them in the background, while the Hellborn team was able to get away and stay alive in the end. So haste rune activated on a Wretched Hag, kind of running around with it. Going to be heading towards the bottom regen rune, actually. Going to bottle that up right there, so pretty nice situation for FJ on the Wretched Hag, and is going to farm the Ancients in the meantime. So Orange Esports, again, they're just constantly doing this. They regroup after a fight, maybe spend a minute or two, quickly get some more upgraded items, some more regen, and they're back at it. So all 5 grouping up here in the middle lane, going to keep the pressure up yet again. Whoa, look at Slither, by the way. He has a Mighty Blade and a Quick Blade. Okay, I'm guessing that is going to be a Staff of the Master, and not not a Basher. Because when I first saw those, I'm like, Basher? What the? But then I stopped and think for a second. Okay, that's right. Quick Blade also does make a Staff of the Master with a Mighty Blade. So
that'd be pretty funny. Barrier Idol popped on this creep wave. They are going to get this tower for sure. See, if I was Orange, I would just get the tower and back off right now. Oh no, what a great engagement by Moraxis.
There we go. Moraxis jumps in, the Bat Blast hitting Ophelia. The heal's already been used, but great Astrolabe on top of that, keeping themselves alive, staying alive. John Travolta style in the background. We see the tongue tide coming out onto Moraxis, but you see Aluna and Nymph off to the side now. They're taking a lot of damage. Again, the toxicity being spread out, but will it be enough for the kills? As we stressed last fight, still no kills happening other than Glacius for the Legion team. Wretched Hag getting caught by a Morph right there. The Melee Rex and Range Rex both still alive, and everyone's still alive as far as heroes are concerned as well. So the Range Rex is going to take a little bit of damage here, but the Hellborn team will get a chance to kind of rinse things off and then repeat. Moraxis jumps back in. The Quake Sun getting it close enough. He avoids the Poison Spray. The Tongue Tide happening, though. Moraxis is going to be locked down. The Judgment coming out, and he will end up falling. Wretched Hag will have to port away. Nice piercing arrows, or crippling volley, excuse me, catching Polywog Priest, but Forsaken Archer may want to get away. Oh no, Nymph put in the background with Aluna. They get the kill as a result on Polywog Priest. Ophelia now in a lot of trouble, and Ophelia will fall. Great deny right there by XXF happening, but at what cost? He's going to try to port out. Do they have any stuns? No, yes they do. Aluna at the last second with the emerald. Oh, the Tempest ultimate! He's still alive, and Slither may stay alive because of this. Wretched Hag will fall. Slither stays alive. What a Tempest ultimate from Shuyu. He's going to end up falling, but he did get a kill out of it and kept his teammate in Slither alive. Wow, what timing there with that portal key.
I mean, XSF played, I think, probably the right move, but honestly, with a big Tempest ultimate like that, I would have ran back and maybe just attacked 2 targets and ran back away.
Yeah,
Get that toxicity on them, because it could have been a big difference there. You know, you got to expect, too, that the communication's coming. Like, I'm coming, I have hole, I'm coming. And I feel like he could have... I feel like he could have done a lot more damage there with a Tempest ult. It was such a great Tempest ult. Actually, if you saw right before that, Tempest was getting engaged at right about where Mr. Ghost's counter ward is up there. And right before he got the stun off, Ophelia was able to get that judgment down.
Yeah.
And Tempest was sent back. So it was a really funny play right there.
Oh, they're going for a kill. Oh, and the homecoming stone canceled immediately there. Big mistake, but they're still able to get away. Nice W from Moraxis, though. He has the Arcane Shield buff. There's that Quake Stun, and he gets that kill. But now, are they in trouble is the question. N4 and Moraxis are on the run. Moraxis has Portal Key. Nope, not going to be able to use it in time. He takes a freeze. N4 comes in. The Ward Trap going to be used right there. Moraxis sees no ultimate. He used it for the damage purpose to kill Slither. So they're going to both end up falling right here, it looks like. As Moraxis, yes, he's going to go down. N4 is going to try to make the port out of the Century. It ain't going to happen, though, as she will fall as well. So a 2-for-1 exchange. I mean, they did get the Slither kill, but they lost both Moraxis and N4 in the process. However, Hagen, especially Forsaken Archer, do continue to farm while it happens. And Forsaken Archer easily has enough gold for a Shrunken Head, by the way, which he still hasn't bought yet, but... yeah.
Yeah, I mean, these fights are kind of coming out even, but when you have a push team, you cannot be even. You got to be way ahead. And as you see already, the experience lead is getting pretty damn high there for QsQ, as it's 7,500 experience lead. A minor gold loss, but that's simply because of the tower, all the towers that Orange Esports has compared to QsQ's tower count. Shrunken Head now finally picked up on Forsaken Archer. One thing I'd like to see this Hellborn team do is, I have seen no stacking at all. If very little, hardly if any. That is a little bit difficult to say when you're constantly trying to defend against pushes. But I'd at least like to see the camps being stacked. You don't have to necessarily clear them right now, but even among pushes happening, you can still stack these stack these ancients to get them to be triple stacked and such. Yeah. And I haven't seen that at all, but that would definitely help this team.
Yeah, I mean, despite that, though, Forsaken Archer is still managing around 385 gold per minute, but I mean, at the same time, I think that kind of shows that. She isn't really taking off and just completely dominating the game by any means. She's leading, but it's not at the point of 500 or anything like that was what we see from some of those top-tier teams where a lot of stacking is involved. So, but Forsaken Archer, not only did she get the Shrunken Head, but she also got another Warhammer. So my guess would be Shieldbreaker, actually, going to be the follow-up here as her attack modifier and big damage item of choice early on in this game. Look at Aluna. I mean, Aluna playing a support, but dear God, I mean, she's got a tablet, a barrier idol, power supply, ring, and those Striders. So yeah, she's done fantastic here for the Hellborn side. I remember she was babysitting Forsaken Archer in the beginning of this game, but being 4-1 and 10, definitely helping with that as far as getting the farm. So that's big news there for the Hellborn side. But once again, here we go. Legion side grouping up. This is like the 10th time they've done this, it seems like. So the ward's going to be placed by Slither in the front line. Scores those level 4. There's the wards coming out from Polywog Priest. And initiation beginning. Moraxis will jump in. The Sealson on top. Now the poison burst comes out, but Ophelia bursts it down before she can even get a heal off. Wretched Act, Bat Blast being used. And Polywog Priest in the background. The Tempest ultimate being stalled, though, immediately after. Moraxis is going to end up falling here, though. The Glacial Downpour actually doing a lot of damage on top of Slither doing work. Now Slither's going to get turned around on by Forsaken Archer. The auto attacks, will it be enough for that kill? It looks like one more. No, he's not able to get it. And Forsaken Archer will be able to fall back as well. But now the melee rack's going to start dropping. The red power throw nearly snipes out Tempest, but he barely stays alive. So the melee racks are going to fall right here, as well as the ranged barrack. So Orange Esports, that's what they were looking for. And they get it, and they only lose Ophelia in the process. So
yeah, that was very, very good spread by Orange. If you saw Moraxis, I mean, they did what they needed to do, and I said it earlier. They just pop the wards, pop the minions, throw them on the towers, throw all your Slither wards, and then spread out. Let the damage just do, let all your other things do damage for you. And what happened is Moraxis jumped in, actually only got the Quake Stun onto Ophelia. It was the only one he hit. And that was just due to the great spread by Orange. They played it very, very well.
Yeah. Now, Slither, so he ends up going Firebrand and still sitting on the Mighty Blaze. So I guess he could just end up going Frostburn altogether. With this item builds that he has. So no Staff and the Master going to be coming out from him, which it's solid. He increases the power of that Poison Burst, which continues to be very productive for the team, but going to be going more of a carry style of build instead. as a result of that choice. But so now with the middle lane cleared out, this is where they're going to move to the, looks like the bottom lane, and once again try to keep the pressure up. So there's a Frostburn finish, by the way, on Slither. And so Shieldbreaker also just finally picked up on Forsaken Archer. So what do you think of Wretched Hag getting caught here? That's big. FJ.
That was not good. You cannot have that happen. He has no buyout. He's dead for 60 seconds, and against a pushing team, you need every second that you can get.
Yeah.
And I don't know if Glyph is up, but that's only going to, stop so much of the push. And oof, that is a very, very crucial death.
Yeah, that could be the game-breaking death right there, no doubt. I mean, the wards come out, everything going to be used as expected. This tower dropping quickly. Of course, the 4 heroes are here for our Hellborn team, but obviously Wretched Hag down for another 30 seconds at least. Shrunken Head already activated by Forsaken Archer, despite no initiation even happening. So now I guess that's how much they wanted to hold off that push right there, and they are going to be successful actually. But the obvious now is that Forsaken Archer doesn't have a Shrunken Head, so if they choose to keep this push going, this could be crucial. Now 10 seconds left on the Resurrection. For Hellborn side. You see the tower eventually gets denied, but they save any Rax pressure. So I guess that makes a little bit more sense of what Forsaken Archer was thinking right there. Oh, but here we go. They're going to reset things now forward, taking a new damage. Moraxis gets X in the background. Now Crippling Volley will hit, so but will they follow this up? Moraxis trying to jump in as Polywalk Priest actually gets caught in the background. He will end up falling by the Poison Burst being used by Slither, but now he's in the front lines. Crippling Volley will catch, and Slither's going to start dropping to these right clicks, but the Tempest ultimate, that Glacial Downpour, and the auto attacks from Slither, the Hellborn team melting in the rain right there. Down goes Forsaken Archer. Nymphora's already dead, so 3 heroes still alive, but maybe only going to be 2 as Moraxis is also going to get picked off. Forsaken Archer does not have a buyback, and that may be some GG moments going on. Melee Rax is going to drop right here, as well as the range Rax very likely, with only 2 players being up.
Wow, I mean, that was a great... Shuyu was playing such a great Tempest in this series, and his portal key was actually down, and he used his Tablet of Command actually to initiate with the Tempest ultimate, and boy did he get some heroes in there, and now 4 racks down for the Hellborn side. And I was going to say earlier, actually, with Hag down for as long as he was, I feel like they could have been much more aggressive and ran past the tower and been a little bit more aggressive. Slither did miss his spray. It's kind of the bad thing for this Legion team, is if they miss, their spells, they kind of have to hit them because they don't have no carry. They don't have no carry. They don't have a carry, so it's very important that they actually hit everything. But that was a really great Slither spray down there by the Warder side that Mr. Ghost has placed there. And it hit 2 heroes, and it really set the tone for that fight there. And it was a great job, especially by Tempest there, to get that great pull.
Yeah, that was huge Tempest ultimate there. That does go back all the way to Wretched Hag, though. Getting picked off at that bottom lane, and although she ended up resurrecting by that time, I mean, still, that allowed Orange to not only get the initial tower push, to kind of reset things. We mentioned the Shrunken Head used by Forsaken Archer just to make sure that happened, and obviously things would have been a lot different if that pick never took place. So big crucial mistake there, and the damage definitely was done by Orange Esports. So maybe I got a little bit too ahead of myself, getting caught up in the moment, saying some GG is going to be coming out, but no doubt Orange Esports in a very confident spot. However, I still feel Q Squad, if they can just hold their ground and keep Forsaken Archer getting the farm that she's getting now, 400 gold per minute. I mean, she's got now a level 2 shield breaker. Things can happen, and this could be the start of that nice stuff from Moraxis right there. That's a perfect initiation. The Bat Blast on top. Ophelia's dead. Tempest is dead. Slither's going to fall right here, and that's exactly what Q Squad needed. Polywalk Priest going to try to port out. He doesn't have a homecoming stone. Can they spot him? Wretched Hag is right below. There we go with the jump up, and we're going to see a team quad kill coming out right here as Handle Baby will fall. Glacius the only survivor, so just as I'm talking about it, exactly what Q Squad needed.
Yeah, that was a really smart engagement there, and what the thinking was behind that is we can't wait and sit pinned in our base and wait for the lanes to push out and then have to make a decision. Well, do I push out the other lanes because my base is getting destroyed, or do I just sit here and wait? Because Orange Esports can always just play it smart and just sit back and wait for the base to get pushed in. So they did a really smart idea by pushing or engaging on them well before they were even close to the base, and that's exactly what you have to do when you're in a position like that.
Now, again, not to get too ahead of myself, though, you do see the situation overall, and this is what sucks about having lost your racks. Both the bottom and the middle lane, immediately after they got those hero kills, as great as they were forced to port back right away. You see the Sacrificial Shrine top tower, at least. It's already basically at half life here, and even the bottom one even taking a little bit of damage. So they will have to constantly keep an eye on that. Now, I will say as well, having Nymphora is that much more important now in a game like this, because not only being able to port back quickly with your team without homecoming stones, but even counterporting in the sense going aggressive after a big fight like that to maybe try to even get the push happening even a lot quicker, more effectively. So that she can prove to play a huge role in this game now because of this situation. But that's what I was saying, though. I mean, that's why. I mean, look at the overall stats, for one. We have a 12.6 thousand experiencing. Now, again, when you're a push team, you're going to lose experience. That's just how it works because you're constantly grouped up. So that's not too surprising. But still, that is going to constantly continue to add up, and it will get better and better as the game progresses here for the Hellborn team. So it's still going to come down to those nice picks. And you see, once again, the Hellborn team, they're playing somewhat aggressive here, trying to maybe catch the Legion team off guard again, but you can tell Orange is a little bit more prepared this time. They have a great Ward of Sight placed down aggressively, not in the obvious spot that they were hoping for, and it's allowing them to see where they're positioned. So there's some very, very close play going to come out right here as to which team is going to have that initiation. So.
And QsQ is trying to do the same exact thing they did last time. Where if you saw, they were all grouped up. They're looking for some kind of opening here. And if Orange Esports can play this smart and realize that, and I think they have, because they're not defending their lanes right now, so they have to suspect that something is up. Yeah. And they just need to play this really passively, at least until the other two lanes push up.
And that's what you're talking about. I mean, you see Forsaken Archer, he's forced to go to the middle lane. Look at the bottom lane. It's being pressured up. They're going to have to go and defend that. So Orange Esports playing a very passive, very smart game, as you're talking about. And they are going to have Slither in the front lines, kind of just doing his damage on the creep wave. But our Hellborn side, they're going to have to make a move very quickly here. Once again, going to have to reset some things. Xenon4 going off to the side, trying to do some more scouting out, but lucky that she wasn't caught herself, being by herself. And Nymphora, man, I'm not sure. She's playing very, very dangerous right here. But here we go. Looks like some possible initiation happening. The wards are down in the background. In comes the Bat Blast from Metrodite. Glacia's taking a lot of damage. He's still alive, though, despite all of it coming out. Finally will fall. You see more access in the midst of it. Obviously, the Poison Burst already coming out from Slither. The Hellborn team trying to fight this one back. That tap is all the men. It will lock down for a second after. There's a great Seal Stun, though, coming up from Nymphora. And a great crippling volley on top of that. Tempest going to end up falling. And Forsaken Archer will end up surviving. So all five are still alive, but look at the base. The Sacrificial Shrine Tower is starting to take a lot of damage. Exactly what we're talking about. So they're going to need to fall back now and protect the base of the Legion team. Despite the deaths, you can still say they have won this fight so far, as Ophelia, Slither, and Polywog Prius are going to now finally start to fall back. So, do that a couple more times, and all of a sudden there won't be much of a base left to defend here for our Hellborn team. So this is getting crunch time now.
No, I can't stress how important that Zeal Stun from Nymphora was. Had he not canceled the Tempest ulti, this game was over, 100%. I mean, there was no buyouts available on FA or Miraxis unless they just purchased an item, which they very could have. Actually, FA, I think, just puts up a Slayer.
Yeah.
So he might have had a buyback, but even with the buyback, I mean, you get the momentum. They're going to have to buy back immediately, rush to the top lane. But their base towers, as you saw, are hit even more. Both defense towers are now sitting at half HP. The lower one's actually sitting a little bit less. And so that Zeal Stun, oof, props to Kidpidia for hitting that.
Yeah, that was huge, no doubt. Canceling that Tempest ultimate when it did. But again, that's going back to Nymphora. She's now level 16, so she can port. They can have 4 to their 5 heroes actually go anywhere, for the most part at least, anywhere on the map, and try to get some good positioning from that. So obviously, Orange Esports, I was just about to say, so maybe they could try to catch them farming and sitting back kind of by themselves, but they really haven't been doing a whole lot of that this game. They've just constantly been grouping up and pushing. But you see right now, Slither, he is by himself, but obviously the ward control right now is very defensive here from QsQ for obvious reasons. I mean, it's kind of had to be. So they have no vision beyond that river, and obviously that's where Orange can feel pretty comfortable in terms of sitting back a little bit and going for some more farm. But going to start attacking Congo a little bit. I say attacking, cause, oh, never mind. They're actually taking out the Revelation that was there right under Congo. So.
And it looks like they're actually maybe trying to do something with Concord. They have wards set up here near the observatory, and they put up another ward here down to the lower